Oh, that's a loud. There we go. Nope, still a bit loud. Good evening, everybody. Just managed to finish dinner. Time was a little bit. Good evening, everybody. That's the second version of me. Just managed to finish dinner. Time was a little bit. Oh, listen, two of me. That's why. Hello, all. Dale Stafford, 2 doors 37. Hi, hail, Trackyard, so you all. Yes. Yes. And people are asking, or have asked, are we just covering the new show? And no, the idea is that I've got some stuff from multiple versions of multiple shows. And you can see there is another box here, and it's empty. Stuart will pop in for a few minutes just to give a few thoughts on things. But I'm here for the minute, and we're going to talk about Battlestar Galactica. Dan 23 did the show Capcom ships, just like flying fightery tram things, not actual. And Stuart was very, very not late. He was not far off at all. Do. It's very loud. Really is. But yeah. They had stealth vibe, but didn't last long. That's a nice old 3D model, that is. But yeah, pretty excited to talk about Battlestar Galactica ships. I've got a ton of things, a ton of reference material, a ton of bits and bobs, some concept art from other things that were not made. Just a ton of cool stuff going beyond the designs of the show. And I've also got the Eagle Moss stuff that I'm going to look at to sort of show some really cool bits of some really cool ships. I think it's fair to say that BSG had some really, really good ships and such. And I think it's fair to say that BSG had some really good. It doesn't, does it? That's weird. It's a microphone that always is. Well, I am a little bit ill. Just a smidge. I don't know why it would be different. Let me unplug it and replug it in. Is that better, Dan? I don't know. But what is your guys' favourite BSG ship? But nice bubble sound. Just trying to see if Stuart can OS restart. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I've got a ton of great images to look at. If we swap between the two, nope. If we swap between to Premiere, what's fun about working on Fleetyards is that I've got actually a ton of stuff that I've already made over the last 2 or so years, which is really helpful. And it just shows BSG has a tremendous level of quality for their ships. And I think it's fair to say it's the best visual update, visual reboot known to, TV kind. While the Galactica herself, you could have been seeing it more with the actual framework of its armor, which would have been great. I think it's still tremendous, and it's a show where you can see the respect of the old show, but also the need to have a new show. The Viper there being a great example of how, it's obviously a Viper, but it's different at the same time. And I gotta love Raptor. I wonder what they do. I wonder what they've done for Raptor in the old series. I'm kind of vamping, guys, because Stuart might appear in a minute. Devo77X. I like the original design of the Solemn Raider. The remake one was cool. Ever played Deadlock? Now that's I'm trying to really cover my bases here, guys. So in fact, I managed to scour the internets, and we're going to be looking at several different Battlestar deadlock ships, which is I think really really cool. I managed to find the high res or some versions. Some are classic ones, as you can see here, but some are brand new, and I think definitely some interesting stuff. And the old one being really fun, and the fact that it was in the Ronald D. Moore canon is really exemplary. I mean, here is a version of the what's it called, Mercury class, fully armored but with slight different variations, and it's more bulky and lower geometry. I mean, this is the actual model, and obviously you can see, while stylistically very similar, a lot more polygons in the real one, but great they tried. I think their base style is actually really rather good. And for contrast, here is the one from the show. A lot more physical detail, but they did manage to carry on a lot of the feel for sure. Having interactive lighting does help as well. And that was their version of the original one. Jarzia, Canadian, $5, thank you. Favorite ship is definitely the Mercury class Battlestar, aka Pegasus. Favorite fighter, I would say, was Mark III vibe from Blood and Chrome. Don't think I have to find that one. I don't think I didn't get a picture of that one. But the Pegasus, I mean, you gotta love the Pegasus. As you know, I'm a big fan of Pegasus. There she is. I mean, what a beautiful ship. You know, it does the old, does the new, does the cool, does it all right, I think. Although it's not sexy per se, in the sense that it, as a hero ship of the fleet, hero ship of the show might not have necessarily done the job, but I like it. Bill 2379799. Why was Galactica missing so much external armor? By the time she was being retired, well, as you can see, that's a version of the war version. It's because it was being scrapped off for other reasons. You did not need to. It wasn't a functional warship at the time, and they used the material for other things. Hi, Smedley. Alright. Oh, Gat chat. I'm not a big fan of the Pegasus. Why? Why, sir? Why? And then let's swap the things around. Sam Stewart. Move all the faces, although... is that gonna be nice? It is not. 1 second. Timing is important with Skype. Nope, still hates it. Okay, I'll just remove the entire option. I'll get 2 Stewarts. It's going so well. It's funny to have a special guest. Special guest this week is the same guy that tunes in every week. Who's the special guest star today? For B to the S to the G. Oh, that version should have my face. There we go. And now you've got my face.
I didn't need it, but thank you.
I was about to say in desperate need of my face, because my face is the fifth race. No, it's not from the show. It's the 13th colony. Yeah, some sort of internal battlestar logic is my face.
Hi guys.
Hi Stuart. So I was saying you're basically a guest star today. I'm not saying guest stars.
I'm a guest star. Thank you.
It's like you weren't gonna join in, and then someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be here." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, I'm not gonna be here long. Maybe like 15 minutes or so. But I thought I'd stop in and say hi.
So we're talking BSG ships today, best and worst, including some really cool concept art from both the original version, the new version, and an undone version, and several alternate concepts for several of the 2003 versions, which I think I've never seen before. I thought were really kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, somebody mentioned like early in the chat, I saw that all the TOS Battlestar Galactica stuff were obvious ripoffs of Star Wars, and I don't think so, or agree, or...
It's a bit of a strong opinion, I'll be honest.
I gotta argue with that, because I think all the original BSG designs were fantastic. Even the base stars and stuff were cool.
Base stars designed by a very own Andrew Probert.
Yeah. And then the Cylons are also very cool. So I'm a TOS Galactica fan, as you know. Some of the redesigns they did were fantastic. Other ones are kind of no, thank you.
But I think you can still argue you understand why they're good, just not as aesthetically your cup of tea. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I agree.
Most of them aren't like the JJ Prize 09, where it's like that is just out of proportion. Normally, it's just like, not my thing.
That is just downright wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, but why do you like the original BSG? Because I've got the picture up now, and I'm getting my physical miniature of it to show it off to the camera. Why do you like this version then?
Because I grew up with it.
What was it one that you sort of saw in the not 60s obviously, but when you first saw it, you were like, damn, that and the Enterprise, man, I could stare at them for hours.
People want you to turn up your volume.
Yeah, it's swapped back down because suddenly you're here. I don't know
Sorry.
why it wants to. Yeah, weird.
No, this one I grew up with. I think it's a great looking design. I love the launch bays. I love, it's actually, and that whole middle part is where they store the Vipers and have like machine shops, in fact, like for repairing and building new parts. So it's a great design. It's just fantastic. I don't know what else to say about it.
I mean, it is bulky though.
And I was talking to it is, but I like that. I was talking to my friend Paul, who actually talked to the guy that built the prop.
Ooh.
And he said the aft section, the big glowing bits are the sublight drives. The FTL drives are the smaller ones, and there's actually an internal mechanism right in the middle of that housing for the FTL. Yeah. There you go.
Which is kind of it's not thrust in the same way that we associate thrust. It was more futury.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the front part that's all like the quarters and all that part. The rest is all their elevators and stuff to get the Vipers in and out of the bays, and then there's like manufacturing areas in the middle.
And what does this middle bit mean? This under bit?
I don't know. I didn't ask that specifically.
I remember when we first did the episode on it, you were like, "Oh, the hell's that?"
Yeah, never seen it before. You never see it in the show, really.
No, you can tell it's just there just to physically hold the model up. Like it's a structural point built into the design. I mean, I do like the design, obviously, but it is very bulky. Like, it's not elegant in any way. It's more like an actual military craft that is just purely designed for old school function without any sort of form. But I mean, having literally a block in the middle is quite ballsy in terms of design. It's just a big rectangle. But obviously, when you put it together, it's like, oh, that feels about something.
And Bill Barkley says the new one's pylons retracted. They did indeed, which was a great, for a while anyway. They were a great addition, and that was a fantastic way to get around the whole new ship not looking like the old ship. Thank you, Eric Chu and company.
Yes.
But no, I was thinking more specifically like the Vipers. I love the TOS Viper. It's my favorite Eagle Moss model by far.
I said that to my dad today. I was like, you know what? He likes this one the most. Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts. And this is the butt of the Viper. He knew I was going.
Yeah. And even the Viper redesigns, like the Mark II, are fantastic, faithful representations of the original. And then you get the new Vipers, which...
Mark 7s.
Yeah, the Mark 7s, which you know that I'm not a fan of. Sorry, Eric Chu. I love Eric Chu. He does great work. But those are ugly. Fugly designs.
But what makes the classic one so much better than the Mark 7? You know?
Because look at it. It's beautiful.
But it's so bulky in comparison.
That's true. But
it's not a bad thing.
No, it's just... I just don't like the way the new one's rounded and, modernized. It just doesn't look good.
Get off my lawn, you old new Viper. Which is now like 15 years old. Yeah, so I finally got... My Eagle Moss finally arrived after 7 weeks of asking and waiting. So I finally have a classic Viper. And this one I was excited for because this I had to build physically or build a brand new model of to use it. Because it didn't exist in 3D. And so I was interested to see how it actually looks in 3D for the first time. I like it. And I think this picture I've got here is actually the original miniature. I think that was the reason I got it. And I mean, you can look at the detailing like on the side. It is pretty damn... I mean, it should be. The close all the same. The
only thing I don't like on the model is the fact that there's no interior detail in the cockpit. There's no seat or anything.
Yeah.
Not that you can really see in it, but...
It's like, it'd be better just to have been not be transparent at that point, almost.
Yeah.
Or just have it be
Just have
black?
black. Because the original AMT model kit just has black decals for the canopy.
Yeah. Because I remember I was talking to a dude that built a really good 3D model of this recently, and he said, well, I said, oh, that looks amazing. Is it accurate? And he's like, there is no one Viper, because they made the physical prop, which was like a 3/4 scale. They made the real big one. They made this one, and they changed it for one of the movies slightly. And also there's one that has alternate version where like it has a landing thing, that like a step ladder that only comes out when it's needed, but it doesn't fit in some of the other versions. So there is no definitive one. You either take the outside, the inside, or the around side, which is often the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think I have to go in a minute, but
Okay.
Thank you guys for welcoming me aboard for this.
Special guest star, Stuart Foley.
Yes. So where they went wrong,
okay.
before I leave, just to give you something to talk about,
Yes.
is the new Cylon Raiders are shit. The old one with that looks like the original is a great design, the way they clip the wings. I think that's great, but the new ones that have a Cylon brain are stupid and ugly, and so are the base stars. The base stars are absolutely atrocious.
Oh no.
Well,
why?
Anyway, on that note, guys, I do have to go. So it's been great seeing you all. Sorry, I've got a lot going on, but I'll see you guys soon. And thanks for having me on, Samuel.
8-minute special guest star, super chat for love of Stuart. Yay.
TOS is the best.
In many ways.
Well, design-wise, I think storytelling, the new ones are better.
I meant like both TOSs.
Oh, yes, absolutely. All right, guys.
Bye, Stuart.
Bye, Samuel. I got to talk to you soon.
Yes.
So, talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
And special guest, and see now my volume bumps all the way up. Special guest star, Captain Foley. Much easier when there's two people on the stream, I will say. Let's get the other version of me back. There I am. And, oh, no, one too many. Doop. But do I really need to... Yeah, so do you guys agree with Stuart's opinions that over half of the new designs for the main ships are inferior to the old ones? Dunno, you tell me. Caleb Horn, $5 American, thank you. I think I remember that a toy soldier is hidden in the Greenlee's original Sphere model, as well as other fun stuff people to find. That's really cool. I mean, look at the detailing of this sort of miniature. I mean, it's just stuff, isn't it? They just found things and put them on the model. It wasn't so much a let's add functional pieces, just like, yep, detailing. It's that sort of vibe. Whereas the Viper is relatively minimalistic. Relatively. They didn't need to go too far with it. But I do have more to show. What do you guys think of this Solemn Raider then, the new one? I mean, it's definitely radically different to the old one. The old one being this sort of a disc shape, and this one being, well, not a disc shape. You tell me, what do you guys think? Old or new? I'll base my comments on what you guys say, old or new. For me personally, they're so different that they're not comparable in that same way. If they looked more, if they're trying to mimic each other, that's one thing. Like the Razor one is, but I mean they're different. They're different beasts. One looks, well, like a knife. The top one looks like some sharp knife. It's kind of hard to understand. It's simple, it's graceful, yet stabby. Whereas the original one is a military machine that is sort of flying saucer oval with lots of tech stuff to make it fly. Although I never understood the cockpit, the slits. That never quite understood that. But that's okay. Ryan K, I kind of don't like the organic part of the Raiders. New Raider is not good. So it reminds me of the SG-1 fighter. New Raider is a different concept. New Raiders being themselves entirely makes much more sense rather than having some robots flying around in a ship. It making more sense is tricky because to sense to what, but it's definitely a cool idea. It lets you do and think more. And both different reasons. New Raider makes sense somehow. Signs are robots. Why have a manned space fighter? Yeah, that always did kind of confuse me a little bit. I mean, they should be just be able to connect to the ship somehow. Why not? Why not? You know. But I mean, they're so different, you know. But then the question is, do you prefer the New Raider, or I mean the old Raider, sorry, to the Razor one, which I have here somewhere. Yeah, compared to Pierre Droulet's new old version, which is in the canon of the Randy Moore show, it is the sort of the same ship. It was, you know, one is a visual update of the other, and you might not see the differences so much, but there's actually a lot of differences if you actually break it down. Most of all of the shapes are different, even though they're also all the same. There's a wonderful forward-facing vibe with the new one, or the new old one. It's way more detail, and the engines are far more robust, and yet all the base elements are there. All the grievelings there. I kind of like the slightly blue tint as well. That's because of the radiosity of the scene. What do you guys think? New old versus old old? Definitely like the Razor one. They should have made the new Solemn Raider, Heavy Raider, resemble the usual Raider but larger. Interesting idea, but I'm not sure if functionally you link that in too much. It's always fun to see some pilots turn their heads and say, "We're under attack." It's true. It's true. Trickers, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Like both, I know they're different, but essentially the same. That's a great example. I also like the fact that the new old one is a machine gun based. They've got little Gatling guns, whereas the old one actually was laser guns. And so I think it works well. I mean, it'd be great to sorry, I'm ill. I mean, it'd be great to see, you know, both versions. You know, have one be the light fighter, one be the heavy fighter. Maybe. But I mean, actually, question. And again, I'm actually talking to you guys because Stuart's I'm going to talking to you as well. If you can picture in your mind this level of visual reboot, because it is a visual reboot, one to the other, to the Star Trek Discovery Enterprise, which one do you think is a more faithful, or better, I should say, objectively better? Which did a visual update better? Because I'm you know, they look so similar, these two, but actually you think about, I mean, it's not the same ship. The angles are different, the proportions are different, the details are different, but it feels the same. But very much so was the Discovery Enterprise. As such, you know, you tell me, what do you think was more similar or not similar? I'd be interested to know. Is that my gut feeling says that that this is more faithful, but it's hard to say. And I'll read those out in a minute. But let's look at some unused concept art for the original show, because I think that is a fun idea. Wrong show. I've got folders here. This, if you recall, the Cylon base star end up looking like this, right? Pretty cool design. But one of Andrew Pro's early concepts was this, which is a lot more like the simple Raider. BSG says, Mr. Tengs, I like the Discovery Enterprise. So do we. Trekkards, I consider the 2010s reimagining of 1980s of it's completely different, but it looks so much the same. Oh yeah, Bill Barkley. That's the Independence Day ship. Well, Bill, this was like 20 years before Independence Day. So, no, that one's this. But this is one of Andrew's original concepts. And, I mean, it's definitely just the flying saucer. Although you can see the engine plating is very similar to what's on the Cylon base star in the end. But that's okay. And guys, I'm doing this live to talk to you all. And please do super chat if you can to support this channel and support what we do here. We heavily rely on super chats to make this channel go. And if you want me to read out anything you want us to say to do with BSG, please do. Please do. Yeah, please do. We'd love to see what you guys say. Oh, my least favourite designs are the Pegasus, Heavy Raider, and the Raptor. Boo, Pegasus! BSG is more faithful. It's basically the same, except they took it and added an extra source upside down. Well, yes and no. I mean, this is a much more simple baseline. Looks like the original mothership from original V miniseries. Yes, Tenzingari. BSG did a way better job at reimagining the show than Discovery, simply because they disconnected the new show from the old show. Yes. Yes. Overall, BSG is more faithful, in my opinion. The Pegasus was amazing. Joseph Petrick. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Believe me, don't worry. Just have to say it every once in a while, as people forget. That's okay. But yes, this is the original concept. Then we have this. This was fun because actually, this I absolutely loved seeing. You can tell it's a similar design, but actually, he had a big fat engine module in the side, which is interesting. Part of why I like the base star is that it's sort of non-directional. It just is. It's just launches weapons at you, and you deal with it. So to have a big ass thruster, big ass engine, really changes the vibe. Although I still like the concept of the ship a lot. It's so simple, but it somehow removes the flying saucer vibe, even though it is just two flying saucers. The way it works for me. It's interesting. I mean, it could be better, more functional or whatever, more interesting, but I think it works well. This is a version of it with the engines, which is a bit more streamlined, and it makes the sides very flat. It's weird. Double decker, yes. Oh, Crazy Chemist disagrees with me. It's always bothered me the base stars have no visible engines. At least in Reimagined Show, it doesn't really make that much sense in established rules of that universe. I mean, you can have like little thrusters on every single element of the I guess arms of it. But I mean, if you're FTLing, they're very efficient at it, and it's your main source of propulsion, maybe. But I love these little concepts. One fun concept, which is called something liner. Simple, easy, generic. But look, there it is. In the actual BSG miniseries, or the whole show, they rebuilt it very faithfully for the show, and how wonderful is that? Always appreciated their rebuilding. But did you guys know there was actually an almost BSG series in the very even early 2000s? It was a potential TV show. I have 3 sketches of things from it. This was 2001. So this is a version. This is a sketch from that possible concept. Obviously, they had the same inference. You know, we're going to take the original and make a new version of it. And let me try and mimic the angle. Everything's flipped for me, sorry. Yeah, so what they did, I guess, is they sleeked out the front, the cockpit for sure. The engines have a cowling, much sleeker. I don't like the fins as much, and it's got that third gun on the top, which must have been an obvious choice for people to do. It doesn't. It looks more Cylon-y. If you look at the organic nature of it, it's too much. Looks to me like there's a front section in a housing. I don't know. It hasn't got the same elegance. It's interesting how subtle things can make changes. And yes, Bill Barkley says that it is a new BSG happening. Very exciting. Very exciting. I think that was called the Scorpion Viper. Was that Richard Hatcher's BSG? No, he had a very, very similar thing. Joseph Petrick. At least I can do is watching, not skipping ads. Totally understand that if YouTube is your main income, you have to work for it, and these two guys do. Yes. We have to do lives, try and keep the lights on. And the way to keep the lights on is by, well, working with and for you guys. And hoping you guys enjoy our Saturday content. But I mean, I like this okay. I think it was off the mark. But this though, I think is great. As you can see, this is the Solemn Raider. I always like when they show the originals in their visually rebootedness. Just to kind of show the difference. It's like, oh, we know the original existed too. We know we have to retcon feel it, and this is the original. No, not to scale. Although I think the top view is not favourable. I love all they did. All they did for this version was make the wings more aggressive and make it sleeker, integrate everything better. I mean, it's a cool redesign. It's very similar to Death Glider, though, in my opinion. It's very similar to that sort of feel. But I mean, it's more of a glider in general, but it's a good improvement. And it kind of showed you maybe if the build had articulating wings, that'd be all you kind of needed. New Solemn Raider with improved features. Sharp edge steel wings for strafe attack. Wow. Dramatic. Have you guys got any images of different Cylons? We're not looking at Cylons, just the ships today. My favourite design was Trisha Helfer, yeah. That is, ooh, I know, it's interesting. Cylon of Prey, Dale, love that. Love that. That's a great idea. I missed this show. The cost was great with the fans. Hang out with them at DragonCon every year. Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, I just want to show this. I think it's a really cool looking version. Jeff Jacobs. Yeah, you made 50. Again at 100. Oh, wow. See, for me, I'm at 8 likes. Guys, Jeff is amazingly right. We've got 110 people watching and 52 people have liked it. We do want to get to at least 100 likes for every single show. It makes a massive difference in analytics to hit the 100. Yeah, click that like button. 52. I want to see at least 100, so click that like button. But another concept, and this is that. You know, someone who's been doing redesign upgrades for some fan films. It's a really interesting challenge, as so many designers have done, to take an original and make it new, because that's straddling the line of old and new. So here, Solemn Base Star original, and this was still in the Concept 2001 ship here. There's the new one, but I mean, it looks the same. You know, instead though, it's got gun turret. Oh right, that's what they're got, gun turrets inside of these pillars that stretch out, which is a nice functional thing. That's kind of cool, actually. Additional fleet of raiders inside central door. Okay, another way. Reduced pitch inside. Okay, so it's thinner. It looks like oh wow, raiders to attach on underside of low dish forming a skin-like texture. Damn, that's like bats on a that's coming from a thing. But it looks like the middle is got these like building-y things to give a sense of scale. It almost feels too flat though, which is weird. I mean, it's not as if the new version isn't vaguely flat too. Yeah, let's talk about this one for a second. What do you guys think of the reimagined? Sorry, I've got a cough. What do you guys think of the reimagined base star? Because I mean, it is kind of out of left field a little bit, isn't it? Yes, Christopher Holiday definitely reminds you of the half the ship from Independence Day. Obviously, that version was after Independence Day. It was one of these designs I had approved. Gek chat. What? You approved? Oh. Gek cats. Gods on Alpha designed. Even though I designed many of the ships on the show, did not do all of them. Oh, Eric. Hey, Eric. Dude, I did not. Sorry, I was not keeping track of that. Hi, Eric. How's it going? Yes, so we have the tremendous Eric Chu in the chat, who designed many lovely things for the show. I have some of his concept art here. This is his version of the Battlestar Galactica with the extra ribs. Definitely different. Hey, I found this Eric as well. I quite like this. It's got obviously it's so much more faithful. So this is obviously one of his earlier concepts. I like how you were much more literal. It's all of your it's all of the same things. Just I think the head in yours is nicer. I think I kind of like the reinforced top elements of the pod. It gives it a real sort of beef feel. I kind of wish the middle wasn't as flat, but it's pretty cool. Oh, criticisms. I was very positive. I like your stuff, you know I do. Commander Cognizance, if you assassinate the bid of Mirror Caterpillar we saw earlier, do you advance in rank? Maybe. Yeah, but I like this. I like this version of the Galactica for sure. And this version of the new Viper is interesting. It's more like a jet to me. So this is there's a Star Wars ship that I used in a mod, and it reminds me a lot of that. I actually kind of like the two fins at the top. I think that's actually quite cool. We've got a nice little conversation happening. Turning asked directly to Mr. Eric Chu, which is awesome. If I understood, the Galactica is stripped of armor, showing the skeleton ribbing under it, but there's one possible idea, but it was never addressed in the show. No. Do you have any comments on this Viper, Eric, that you designed as a potential for the show? That's kind of cool. We can live ask the designer of the potential, because I think this is kind of cool. This would be a really good heavy Viper. The way the proportions work on the look on the front, even though I know it's perspective, makes this bit feel way thicker. Shows the whole thing get the big vibe as if it could be a two-person cockpit. That I think would look really cool. Whenever he saw beyond the Raptor anyway, like a bomber variant. I mean, the Raptor's fast, but if you did the whatever, and the guns are kind of, I like the way the guns are like cannons. Well, okay, Eric. I pulled them all from a different side. Apologies. But there's Yowl Beauty. And there's the comparison between the two. And it's funny how there's two versions of this secondary, this Mark 7 Viper, and the engine model is actually quite different between them. And look at those curves. I'm loving the new version of the Vipers. You can see little nozzle thrust, like little circle ports. I mean, can I help the CGI to go, see it in the show, but it's cool. And yeah, they're just trying different variants. But I certainly think what we end up getting is incredibly good. I mean, it's faithful, it's interesting, and it's nice how just simply simplifying some of these raw shapes into something smoother. This into something smoother. I feel like the nose is probably thinner on the new version. Yeah, I mean, I do like the squared off thing there, but I do think it looks better with a pushed out thing as well. The bomb looks like a Wraith fighter. Now Mark II all the way. Yes, this design was also taken from a video game. Yes, it was. It was very similar, and now there's two variants of the story. I know that Pierre Droulet did a Viper for the game, which there is a render of. So Pierre Droulet, wonderful modeler. There was a version for the game, which I believe is number 5 here, 5 or 4, or 3. I don't know. Oh no, it's not 1. I don't know. Yeah, he designed one that ended up being the Blood and Chrome Raider Viper, which I do have a render of. And because they use a higher polygon version for the cutscenes, they use it as the baseline, and they asked to use it, and they did, and it was great. There we go. Here's the video game version that came before, and then it was tweaked around, and then reused for Blood and Chrome as an earlier version. So this is the original version of the, I guess, Pierre's iteration of the new Viper, and you can see it's incredibly similar, although the way the exhausts are different. But it's very close. Obviously, this one then evolved into. You can see they are the same yet different, as it couldn't be identical. Interesting stuff, eh? Have a great day, Eric. Martin Devereaux, super chat by your command. Yes. Christopher Rollins, you think the Mark 7 would be smaller? Isn't that how technology works? Well, yes and no. I mean, can you imagine? They're always trying to push technology. I mean, look at smartphones. They got smaller. They got bigger again because it took more space to fit in more good tech. My PC case is much bigger than my PC case for my old PC because, yeah, technology, you suddenly need more power, more space, more whatever. A lot of that's just cooling. So no, it depends. And I can see this new Vibe being far more efficient at what it does, but it just needs more physical space to do that same thing. Plus, just altered style. Bill Barclay. Surprised Ready Player One didn't have any clone of Vipers, as had some Star Wars ships. Yeah, they had a Battlestar Galactica original series blaster, which was a really fun reference that I saw. It was actually right at the end. It was his, either main guy or the second main guy's chosen gun, which was great. But since there's 100 of you watching, 52 likes, but we're not getting many super chats, which is fine, but that normally can drive the conversation. I'll do some quick fire best and worst, just because I've got things to do today, and Stuart cannot be here. But let's do some best and worst. I definitely think the original series Raider is great, but it feels more like a pancake. But the detailing is really, really good, I think. Blood and Chrome, Raptor one, Razor one is excellent. Although for me, it doesn't quite connect, but it's close. I really, really like the Raider. It's very alien. The head, the curves, really, really nice design. Here's all in scale. You can see the heavy Raider, and you can see how much bigger the canon version of the TOS one. TOS is so much bigger, and because the one on the bottom right is meant to be fighting at the same period, you can see that both the heavy Raider and the Raider both got one to the other bigger, I guess. Although you can see how the tech changed from the Cylon's big attempt to their small attempt. Pretty fun. Christopher Rollins. Oh, Mark III from Blood and Chrome looks a bit bulky. Yes, that was the point. 24 likes. That's damn low. No, you have to refresh. Are the renders of the Viper Mark 7 in 1-2 white and red? I do not. Heavy Raider and the Raider look completely different. Yes, they do. But the Heavy Raider is a platform. Is a platform to have troops. No such comparison between Galactica and the Enterprise. Which Galactica? Yeah, Bill Barker, Tenzagari says it's the equivalent of the Raptor, which is true. But obviously, Cylons are much, much bigger, and they'll have more of them. This is a fun scale I did a while ago. You know, BSG ships are always so small. In terms of these other Vipers, some are really cool. The lower bottom right is darn sleek, although I think it loses a lot of that. As the scope of, scope is the Scorpion. It is good, but I don't know. The Cobra, no, elongating the wings looks too odd. Original Series 1, the nuke version. the Viper 3. Ah, that's the concept. Again, the cowling doesn't work for me. And I do quite like the game one, but for sort of a different, it's got a different level of bulk to it, which is weird. Obviously, Galactica herself, I think she's great. Although I would like to have seen her with more of the actual plating on her. The entire time, that would have been great. Now, come on, guys. I feel like I should get 2 super chats for the Battlestar Galactica Valkyrie, or Battlestar Valkyrie. I mean, do you guys like Battlestar Valkyrie or not? Because, I mean, that's a pretty interesting looking ship. Just saying. I like it. I'll give you guys a second to... Looks like a BSG Firefly. Not the Valkyrie. Does have a blade of hull armor. No, it's actually a weaker one than Pegasus. TO ships are way better. Yeah. It's very interesting. It's almost medieval. Yeah, it's pretty random. Good. I mean, it's a good design, good build. It's different yet the same, which is always fun. I don't think this is not like sexy or anything, but it's good. Obviously, the original Galactica herself, again, bulky. It does kind of have a lack of thoughts feel into it, in that, you know, really stuck on, I don't know, it's missing that something. I don't know. So the Viper's excellent. New version's excellent too. I do think it works better to have the nozzles pointing out. There's another scale chart with all the small variants. The Raptor, though, come on. I love the Raptor personally. I think Raptor's great. The Valkyrie is so tiny. It is much bigger. Much smaller. I mean, different to the Heavy Raider, but at least the Stars has something other than the Raiders and base stars. Big problem with the Starfleet is lack of diversity. Well, hey, if it works, if one Raider can have several nukes on and destroy ships in one blast, I mean, you don't need that many different ones, you know. But I think the Raptor's a beautiful ship. It's bulky, but it's got a certain functional elegance to it. I love it definitely has some of its parts sort of ship. Yeah, it's really nice design. I like this one. What was it? Cloud9. There you go. It's interesting. It works. Colonial movers. Hell yeah. If you look at it, and this is obviously from the TOS as well, because they made painstaking effort to replicate, I think, 7 or 8 from the original show, and this is one of them. And it's real simple. It's just what appears to be an Apollo-style capsule on one side with big ass cargo containers and then engines, which it is. But somehow, put it all together, it kind of works, and I quite like it. Base Star. I mean, I have no problem with Base Star. I think it's actually not a bad looking ship. Not a bad looking ship at all. Valkyrie is about the same size as the flight pod on Pegasus. No, it's bigger than that. Oh, no, you're right. That was based on a scale chart. You're all right. Here is a scale of the fleet. Oh, even smaller, yeah. I forgot it was that small. So that's all the canon colonial ships, including the Defender there at the bottom, which was a wonderful kitbash model-ish, made of pieces of the original 60s one or 70s one, whichever. And got the Defender there, Valkyrie, Galactica, and then the real beast, Pegasus, and the Enterprise for scale. So take a look at that. Hey, Caleb Horn, making the chat light up yellow. I like the Valkyrie, hoping it's an Eagle Moss model. Would like to get up and close. Would like to get an up and close at It Love Deadlock, which we'll get into in a minute. Get to kick butt with most of the ships from the series. Would also like to get Blackbird. Yes, I absolutely agree. I think Valkyrie is beautiful, and I think the model is going to be interesting because it's such a small. It's not as well. No, maybe it is longer. Based on the size of these boxes, we're going to get a lot of good detail on that, and it's really never been fleshed out ever. I know it's relatively coming soon. You know, not they're running out of things, but they're certainly through some of their best. Just turn to steer for a second. While you enjoy the scale. Cute. How do the TOS ships match up in terms of scale? That's a great question, Corey. Big. The original we did an episode on the original Galactica, and the problem with the original Galactica is that it was a while ago, and it didn't matter as much scale since it wasn't 3D. Every bit of model work was a false perspective anyway, or a composite. So there's 3 iterations of the potential scale of this ship, and there's not really windows to go by. And yes, there's hangars, and yes, there's Vipers, but again, perspective. So it's big. I believe I did some scale potential charts when we did the first version of this a while ago. Let me see if I can find them. But I believe I remember I put the effort in to go and look. We had a fan model, but I know they're meant to be bigger. That is what I remember. Let's search Battlestar Galactica. Ordered. No, I didn't include scale because it was tricky. Hums. But yeah, big, probably bigger. Base Star, good, beautiful. This is an interesting one. There's 2 Heavy Raiders. That's okay, Aurora. That's okay. Hi, Serenity Fleet. Just chatting about ships from BSG. Late 70s. Thank you. So yeah, this is the Heavy Raider Mark 1, which was in season 1, seen a few times, and then all of a sudden it became this. Much more detailed mesh, much more interesting in a sense, just very different. They're both called Heavy Raider, and there was no elaboration ever given, so we can assume that it was a kind of one of those like, oh, bait and switches. But I like to think the only time we see this really, the only time we do see it, is when they are attacking Capricorn people on the planet. So my sort of mental retcon to this is the troop carrier version, and this is the ship version. So what do you guys prefer, Mark 1 or Mark 2? And you know, it is very similar, but better, I think. And you know, like I went from the sheens of 1 to the more muted colours. I think A or B. What do you guys think? Do you ever see Galactica escape pods? No, we didn't. Mark Chris is Ryan H. I think in Galactica 1980, the Galactica was said to be 1 mile in length. No, that's too small. Entire BSG is an escape pod. Mark 2 says Dale. Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 1, Mark 2. I like them both for different reasons. How large are the Solemn base stars? Really, really big. Like really, really big. Kind of excess big, but yes, big. Mark 1 reminds me of Andromeda. Are you going to cover the flying motorbikes? Not now, they're not ships. Second one because of the detailing. Yes, I think that's fair to say. You've got the Defender, which, as you can see, shares a lot of similarities with the ship. I mean, if you look carefully, the back pods are literally just the back pods here, but yeah, tweaked a bit, which is great. I mean, this I think is a very clever, simple kit bash that is in the Ragtag Fleet for multiple episodes. Kind of makes an impression. I really wish I'd used it as a battle star. Sorry, that would have been kind of cool to see this appear and do some cool things. But hey, cool stuff. On civilian ships, that was many things. I quite like this 60s era design, the big Tillium refinery, I believe it's called. And obviously got Pegasus, which, come on, I think Pegasus should get some real love. I mean, what do you guys think about Pegasus? Are you a yay or nay for Pegasus? I really want to know, because Pegasus I think is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Only 76 likes. Come on, give it 100 likes, please. Thank you. He likes the Pegasus nay from Sony Fleet. Oh no. Yay, but never forgive Apollo. Yeah. Pegasus, what a lovely beast. Yeah. Love the design, not a huge fan of her well, it's very clinical in a sense. And look at the beautiful light rig. Beautiful light rig. And there's them compared in scale and design, very different, very the same, which I like. Here's a fun one we did for an episode a while ago. Here is every Raptor variation. You've got the, Assault Raptor on the left. You've got the season 2 to 3 to 4 to everything else Raptor. Season 1 Raptor, and is this miniseries or it might have been miniseries Raptor is 3. And the Wild Weasel Raptor right there on the right. The earlier one and the more varied one. Definitely a bit different, but I love the Raptors. This is 2 in scale. Now, Stuart was not a fan of this ship, but what do you guys think? Was it a yeah? What do you like this one? I mean, is it an improvement over the other ones? Where does it fit? Where does it fit in your Viper charts? Oh, I like Mark 7. It's lame, meh. I don't like Mark 7 at all. Looks like melted icing cake. Ugly but nice progression. Make it go away, love it. Looks too round for my taste. Ooh. Ballistic weapons are a problem. That's why I stopped watching it. Well, the story is why you should watch it. Show wasn't. In the show, I wasn't terribly a fan of it. Once I built a model, it really grew on me. Well, why, crazy chemist? Why did you build the model of it then if you weren't crazy about it? Europa uplinks. Oh, and just a side note, I know you enjoy the TV show stuff, but you guys should eventually do a couple of episodes, as I said, in the homework storyline and the Spore faction ships. Problem is, Stuart doesn't really like as many other sci-fis, and I don't know. I played Homeworld 2. I like the base ship, Mothership. I like Mothership a lot, actually. Maybe. I mean, you know, we try to do other sci-fi shows, but all the time the views aren't just there, which is a shame. But we do try. Looks too sleek. Fair enough. No, I won't go through these. I'll save this for another time. Let's look at some Deadlock stuff briefly. This is the video game. It's on Steam. You can play it right now. They've got multiple expansions, which is great. And you can let me know, what do you think? What do you guys think? Hey, you won't be happy when you hear how your audio sounds. What do you guys think? Hey, you won't be happy when you hear. That is, I mean, I don't know. It's not like this. I mean, I've got a bad voice anyway, because I've got a cold and I'm ill. But this is, I mean, it's good. It's good, but it's simple. It's just a functional part of the fleet. It feels like to me. I'm not. It feels more like a frigate because of how thin it is. Although I do appreciate the use of a lot of the elements. I'm gonna definitely give it a pass. This one is like the first ship you get in the entire game. And it's amazing how BSG is both a generic-looking franchise and also very itself, because this is very anything, but you can see like how it could fit into the universe, and I kind of like this one. Different, but I like it. And this is one of the early ones. This is a Raptor I only saw today. I'm not sure if I like this one or not. It's much bulkier, but I like. What do I like about it? I don't know. Do you guys like this, guys? Do you like this one compared to the main Raptor? This obviously being the main Raptor, and this being the game version. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? And yes, sorry. John Harrison, 2 pounds. Mark 7, looks like a Wraith Dart. Looks organic. And thank you guys for joining in on this sort of impromptu live based on PS... That's hilarious. Peter Williams from Stargate just changed his profile picture to one of my pictures at a convention, and he said, "If I'm lucky, the original file of this pic will magically appear in my DM." Lol. That's absolutely hilarious. Apophis wants me, guys. Apophis wants me. That's funny. AC Costello, $2. Not a BSG fan, but glad to see a Fleetyards episode. Well, thank you. $2 is really, really helpful. And we have actually filmed 7 new Fleetyards, which is really exciting. Some good ones for sure. Some cool renders, some cool scale stuff. Some from Stuart, some from me. We're kind of trying to build a buffer so we can release them. We know Fleetyards doesn't do as well, but we know there's definitely interest for it, which is kind of a weird duality there. But yes, there is more coming. But thank you for the support. That gives us hope you guys will watch the main one. Correction, the Manticore is a Corvette. Yep. And the element has light guns. Yep. The Raptor looks like the Clone Troopers transport. Yeah, a little bit. Looks like someone saw a Raptor years ago and forgot what it looks like. Yeah. Kind of like the tail reminds me of the Blood and Chrome variant, which I liked. Everything from the front is ugly. Yeah. The tail is definitely Blood and Chrome. It's not as bad as early as Raptor. Like how utilitarian it feels. Yeah, it's okay. That one we're done. This one is very much just the Defender. What do you think of their version of their sort of retconny version of the Mercury? No, what was the original? I don't know. Was it the original TOS one? This was their version of this, trying to make it fit into the canon. I think, I mean, in terms of faithful reinvention, and I just noticed there's also ribbing in the top of the hull. That's subtle. That's a nice touch to kind of have some linking detail. I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Does this one fit as a basically a reboot, refresh, all that jazz? Just on Stuart for a sec, because we all love Mr. Captain Foley. Artemis Battlestar looks great. Hangar Bay looks wrong. Where's different? I don't like the square part with a circle in the middle of it. I'm somewhat sad that Deadlock doesn't use the exact same designs as the show. Well, it is. I mean, it is meant to be an older version. Like, it's in the war. I think there is at least one identical. It's got a Voyager nose. Okay. It's okay, Dan 23. Okay. And then... No, I think that's actually the last of all my images, pretty much. So let's end on, I guess, because for Stuart, we'll end on the original Galactica. The original, maybe the best, maybe not. And you can, of course, if you're interested in buying any of these models, then please do go down to the Eagle Moss website. They are incredibly high detailed. As you can see, pretty big size. Definitely worth it. And the fighters especially, I mean, the detail level at this size is absolutely tremendous. It's heavy, spoofy made. The painting is really nice. You know, if you want sort of a definitive, relatively affordable model of these ships, yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And they've got a massive collection of things from, they're over here. They just released the Raptor. Go get the Raptor. Hey, I tell you what. For a $5 super chat, I'll get out the Raptor. Sci-Fi Nation. Hi, Trek Girls. New channel here. Launching in 1 to 2 weeks. Creating content, sorting out fine details. We're working doing this by the seat of my pants. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, absolutely. Good luck with that. Seat of pants. Yep, that does happen. What do you intend to look at detail-wise? There's a lot of channels out there, obviously, but if you can have a very specific appreciation. Bill Barkley. Okay, bye guys. Great show, Samuel. When's your next live show? I'm away this weekend. I want to try to do something Monday, if we can. Maybe Tuesday. That's very much up in the air. And then Wednesday, Stuart is actually popping in. Popping in to England. He is coming to the UK, which is going to be great. We're going to go to London. We'll do a live stream at the convention. We're going to be at the convention. So if you guys want to see a live stream at the English Charter Convention, then be up early on Saturday. Be up early on Sunday, sorry. Like early, because time zones in LA. Or LA, just stay up. Stay up really late. Stay up to like 3 a.m. We'll try and give a warning. But yeah, pretty... If we live at like... If we live stream at like 12 here, that will be like 4 a.m. for LA. Bill Barkley, Monday might have the Rise of Skywalker trailer by then, or Tuesday. Well, gosh, if we have to do an instant live stream before we fly out, maybe we will. There's going to be a lot to look at there for sure, and hopefully you guys will join us if we do a version of the the trailer. And I do apologise, my voice has been a bit crap, but I've got a bit of a bad throat recently. That's okay. London, Mondevin, yes, to England. He's flying all the way into England to go to the Destination Star Trek event. Very exciting. And Christopher Holiday, thank you so much. He wishes good tidings of us on our journey. Thank you so much. But I think, guys, that is it today. Oh, Dale Stafford, please feel better, Commander. Thank you. There you go. Dale wins the super chat off at the end there. Yeah, I'm not doing great. It's been quite a weird couple of days. I've got all sorts of cold. Birmingham, not London. No, but I mean England. It's just the way of saying England. For those pesky Americans out there, our tremendous audience of Americans. No, I've been ill since Thursday. It's a weird cold where I have a bit of everything, but nothing's too much. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But this has been fun. It's always good to look at the BSG ships. I think, for the most part, the new show did absolutely amazing. I mean, the model detail is gorgeous. The design work is amazing. The visual effects of the show are still absolutely incredible. The show itself is absolutely incredible. I mean, hopefully this show is gonna really continue to be a masterclass of quality, because I think it deserves to be so. Maybe the fourth season was not as good, but hey, damn good show. Damn good show. But yeah, I guess that is it, guys. Have some chicken. I had chicken soup last night. That is true, I did. But yeah, guys, I think that is it. 100 people. Actually, how many likes we got? 76. Okay, I want to see 80 likes. 4 more likes and I can go. That is not a hard ask, surely. 76. So 4 more. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Oh, and Jeff Jacobs. Paying for 100 because we had Eric Chu and you. That is true. Oh, I didn't refresh. Maybe the refreshing is 92. Oh my goodness. See, now we have to get 100 likes. I think it was my Caleb. You super chat again, did you? Caleb. Oh, I did. Sorry, Caleb, man. Sorry about that. Caleb Horn, $5. That you're really helping him, man. Appreciate it. I like your TNG-esque uniform. I like that each design deadlock was apparently designed by a different colony. Says who built what in ship description. Ooh. That's a fun idea. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense anyway to have some sense of difference. But I wonder how you spread that out. You know, this Battlestar group, this planet likes more militaristic. This Battlestar has a more elegant vibe. You know, that's interesting. This one just has spare hangers. I don't know. That's interesting. Nicely said. Nicely said. And I'm going to swap to the Pegasus. God love Pegasus. Oh, you want me to say Kailash with this throat? Really? 3 more likes. 3 more likes. I can say Kailash. And thanks, Nation. We do definitely some fun stuff coming along. We have. I will reveal something. We have a. So if you guys have enjoyed this episode of Fleetyards Live, we do have a full Fleetyards episode coming, and by full I mean the full whole hog, as we do with our full Tracos episodes. Full animations, full renders, full script. It is on one of the ships in the BSG universe. We did the Pegasus. Is our 3rd episode. This one I had a ton of fun doing animations for. My PC is many PCs more advanced since, so I was able to push it a bit. You know, the BSG models are quite advanced, but this PC can handle them if done properly. And so I've got some new original renders, original animations, I should say, of some BSG ships, which I had a lot of fun trying to mimic their style. And Stuart did a wonderful script. Good stuff learned. So look forward to that soon-ish. And that's going to be a lot of fun to hopefully you guys will enjoy. 98 likes still. 2 more likes. 2 more likes. 2 more likes. Matthew DeFreeze, you do need to get the Eagle Moss Battlestar Galactica. You know what I like about the Battlestar Pegasus? It reminds me of the Aurora battlecruiser from Stargate Atlantis, which was criminally underused in SG-1 because I agree. The Aurora is a lovely ship and need to be done more. Hey, 101 likes, 94 people. Thank you so much, guys. Really do appreciate all the love, all the support, and just chatting here with me, guys. Hi, Starweaver. Because at the end of the day, we are also just here to kind of have a conversation. I legitimately very much enjoy talking to you guys as part of this community. You know, while we are the ones that make the content, without you guys to both watch it and support it, we would not be here. So, you know, we are here because of you. You're here because of us. And because we are both here, we get to make stuff on Picard and Discovery and get new designers. And we might have a new guest on who haven't filmed yet very soon, who is pretty damn exciting. Not from Star Trek, but from a very popular sci-fi franchise right now. Oh god, Kailash. Okay. Oh yay, Adam. Yay. Okay. I'm gonna yawn first. Yeah. Alright, let's see how Kailash works when I got a really bad throat. Buy Eagle Moss BSG stuff for Kailash! So, in conclusion, how is that Kailash? 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, both for the entire run of my saying Kailash, and also for that one individually. You know, season 1 of TNG style. Review it! So we can't do a live stream without reviewing it at the end out of 10. I think definitely 10 out of 10 for both, wasn't it? Matthew De Freitas, why does YouTube give me preparations H ads for Trekk's episodes? Is that normal? I don't know what preparation H is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. We'd have no control over that whatsoever. 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 11 out of 10, Dale. God, Dale, you're too generous. 10 out of 10. Come on, I salute you, Snowy Keyboard. I'm sure you can do better. I could if I wasn't dying slightly. Wow, what a way to end. No, Sci-Fi Nation, I can do better. I can do a lot better, don't worry. It's just my throat is also dying horribly. It doesn't help. 104 likes, thanks so much. We will see you next week for more Trek Yards fun. Till then, I'm Commander Coggins, and I'm still Commander Coggins, so there's no one else here, so it's just me. Bye, guys.